Hello and welcome to Flippin' Through, the internet's #1 Mad Magazine news, review, and interview channel. And today we're flipping through Mad Magazine number 188, released January 1977. Our price, 50 cents, which is indeed cheap. But before we do that, please let me remind you, hit like, hit subscribe, and leave a comment down below. That's the #1 way that you can support this YouTube channel. I'm at like 1,333 subscribers. Feels good, man. I don't know. There's just some big bump. I don't know what to attribute that to, but if you're one of those new subscribers, thank you so much for doing that. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit subscribe, give a thumb up, and leave a comment down below. If you want to support me in another way, patreon.com/flippinthrough. What do you get? I got buttons, I got stickers. Go check it out. Link is down there. These are the people that I get to thank for their support today. Ben Forsgren, Joey Gesso, Reflection of Perfection, Frank Snyder, this is not, they had to be active. Ben Forsgren, Joey Gesso, Reflection of Perfection, Misamo, Tom Richmond, David Strickler, Megan McInerney, Shane Buckley, Bobby Weigel, Cam Hayden, Rob Wilson, Rod Mead Sperry, Andrew Goldfarb, Casey Ori, and Little Cozy Nostril. Thank you guys so much for the support. I hope I can keep on earning it. All right, now let's get back to this. Where am I? There I am. Listen, I can hear my voice. I know that this sounds awful. I don't know what's happened to it. If I speak too loud, if I try to speak too loud, it goes like that. And so I just have to speak kind of quietly. So I hope it's not too quiet for you guys. Here we have Mad Magazine number 188, a Jack Rickard cover, a beautiful Jack Rickard cover. They strike out the Bad News Bears, shoots down Missouri Breaks, backhands the tennis craze, and needles doctors. And the AMA. And here we have the Bionic Woman. And is that the $6 million man? Is that Steve Austin? That's who it is. Yeah, because I always remember this. For me, Steve Austin is a professional wrestler. He is not a $6 million man. I hope he has many more than $6 million. All right, here we have the house ad. This is one, I haven't seen this before. I haven't seen this issue before, flipped through this issue. This is Mad's cheap publisher turns Santa Claus and gives every new subscriber a Christmas gift discount of $2.01, mainly a 20-issue subscription or gift subscription to Mad, regularly $10 for only $7.99. Some people like me to read up here, so I'll do that today. 188, January 1977. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, but it can also make for a pretty messy hand. William Gaines is a publisher. There, I forgot to mention, that is the publisher of Mad Magazine. William Gaines, dressed as Santa Claus. Albert Feldstein, editor. John Putnam, art director. Lenny Brenner, production. Jerry DeFuccio, Nick Meglin, associate editors. Jack Albert, lawsuits. Oh boy, this is rough, guys. If you're tuning into this and wondering if I'm going to live stream this Sunday, I'm not. I can't do this for like an extended period of time. And I don't think anybody wants to hear this for an extended period of time. Parts of this issue I'm going to move through kind of quickly because there's one thing in particular later on that I really want to make sure that I spend a lot of time on. It's a very good sort of self-aware humor that Mad is doing. And it's I don't know, I'll talk about it when I get there. Here, Mad Magazine mentions Star Trek. This is all you need to know about Star Trek fans. Mad Magazine mentions Star Trek, lampoons them a little bit. Boy, it's It's just a page all about that. How about this? Um, I think Drucker and Jacobs really goofed this time. The Star Trek has become a phenomenon because of its basic appeal to people's hopes and aspirations for a better world. Paramount owns the whole show, incidentally, including the reruns and the characters. The only money the actors get is from lectures, books, stationery that are indirectly related to the series. What a strange letter. Just like, that's a Sergeant Joe Friday letter. Just the facts, ma'am. All right, just the facts. Anyway, let's move on. This is that, I think this is George Woodbridge who drew this. They use this ad a lot every Christmas. I hope they use it this Christmas. And here we have the lampooning of the popular TV show, The Bionic Woman. Mort Drucker and Dick DiBartolo are doing this one. And beautiful artwork. This is another one of those things, though. Talk about my cultural blind spots. This is a pretty big one. 70s television programs. I do not know much about. Okay with the movies, but yeah. I don't know. I think this is just like, was this the era of the Hulk television show? Because I did watch that a fair amount. Here we have early one morning on a desert island. I loved this. This is so much fun. And I don't always love Don Martin's stuff. This one I thought was so great. I did not expect this. The airplane crash and then the pilot. I love that little design. It's fantastic. Here we have some more Jack Rickard. I thought this was kind of a fun one. First off, I love Jack Rickard. I love his artwork. And I love the little characters that he creates. This one, we're sure I'm going to read this top thing. We're sure our parents and teachers mean well when they lecture us, but after listening to them and then reading the way it really is in the newspaper, all we can say is, no wonder we're all screwed up. I know you broke that window, so don't lie about it. Take your punishment like a man. It may sound corny, but honesty is still the best policy. Nixon pardoned. Spiro Agnew gets off with a fine. Nixon should have been pardoned. Nixon, that was a frame job. They shouldn't have. Nixon was an misunderstood character. And that whole thing was so shady. How about this one? Oh no, that one wasn't that funny. Wait, where's the ones? Oh yeah, here we go. What are you two kids fighting about? Don't you know that fighting never settles anything? Syria threatens war. Cuba sends troops to Angola. Slaughter in Beirut continues. Morocco and Algeria clash in Spanish Sahara. New border skirmishes flare up in Israel. The more things change, the more they stay the same. I think that this is like an example of where they can get like a little political, but without getting preachy, which is nice. I like that. And then here we have, what? You cut school? Don't you realize that education is the most important thing in life? Over 10,000 teachers and school employees fired. New budget cuts force cities to close schools. Mayor announces all layoff sanitation men will be rehired. Sorry, I had to go and get a lozenge. Here's a Mad History of Medicine by Larry Siegel, illustrated by George Woodbridge. Hopefully this isn't too horrible to listen to and it doesn't clatter too much. This is one of those things that George Woodbridge is just, it's so awesome to see him doing stuff like this. Purely for these like first two panels. I mean, look at this shit. Chapter 1, How Medicine Began. Look, I mean, golly. Look at all this cave that he's created with the amazing cavemen and the saber-toothed tiger and then the dino back there and all of this stonework. It's just amazing. And here it is outside. It's one of my favorite things right here, like this, capturing this type of rock and these stegosauruses. Look at that. Look at the gesture. Look at, I mean, the gesture drawing. Is that what that's called? Like it looks like he's actually putting weight into it. It's so fantastic. I love this type of stuff from him. This reminds me a little bit, only a little bit, because this isn't as good. But when he did the Bible, George Woodbridge illustrated the Bible stories. But I absolutely love it when he does like this historical stuff. Golly, it's great. Let me see. What else do we have here? I mean, this doesn't have that like the same amount of like details, especially in the backgrounds, but still so beautiful. Like that. Look at the folds of the clothes and the sheet. This is like as somebody who's not an artist, but like kind of appreciates it. I don't even, maybe an artist would be like, that's simple. But to somebody who can't really draw, like, I don't understand how you can draw things like that that look so, I don't know, natural and just good. It's just fascinating to me, endlessly fascinating. And here we go, 2 for 2 so far. Don Martin knocking it out of the park with these. Two cavemen see a stone rolling down a hill. Both have an idea. Dude invents the wheel. This guy just throws his. He just throws his wife out of the cave. Oh my God. Like, I gotta hurry up because I'm running out of time. But here's like another really cool thing about this issue. What's the story? So, what's the story with what's the story is this is something that was, from what I can tell, going to madcoversite.com, I'm sorry, crackedcoversite.com, this is the first appearance of it, and there were two more after it. I really like this, not just because it's one of my favorite illustrators, Bob Clark. I really like it because there's like some parts of this are actually kind of open-ended. I mean, you might think it's like, well, it's a mad look at just in a different format and not themed. And so it's like doing the pallbearers, they get electrocuted, then they're all dead. That's kind of straightforward. This one, guy's at the window. Says there's some babe in here. And that she's looking out the window. So he's like, I just said that there's a woman in here who, wants him. And then he jumped. I don't know. It's like, who is that woman? To his wife? I don't know. Maybe this is the evolution of the caveman. Rather than throwing his wife out of the cave, he throws himself out. I just really like this. I don't know. I was very charmed by it. Here we have the lighter side of consumers. All right. We're gonna keep moving past this. And we have the typical year-end family greeting letter. These are text heavy. I'll tell you, that doesn't make for the best flip through. So hit pause if you want to read this. Hit pause if you want to read any of these. They're pretty entertaining. It's from a mafioso family, a Harlem family, Beverly Hills, career Army officers family. It's like the typical end of the year letter that gets sent out with Christmas cards. Now, this is like a pretty sad day for me because we have Mad's Christmas Carols for the 1976 holiday season. And my voice is in such a state that I can't sing a single one. Paul Coker is doing the illustrations for it. It's delightful. The only thing I want to really draw your attention to right now is there. Out there is here. Out there on the sidewalk, sung to the tune of Away at a Manger. Look at that beautiful Paul Coker artwork. All right, let's move on. So this is, I'll read the whole thing. Whenever a department store has a lot of unwanted merchandise cluttering up the place, it holds a clearance sale. Well, we here at NAD have the same problem. During our more than 20 years of publication, we've accumulated a mess of artwork, scripts, old type, premises, etc. that we've got no use for. If we had any smarts at all, we'd offer them to the public as bargains. In other words, we'd throw them all together in the mad clearance catalog of unwanted articles, features, gimmicks, and premises. Just drink this in. All the artists here. Holy smokes. We have Dave Berg, Jack Rickard, Antonio Prohías, Don Martin, Paul Coker, Mort Drucker. Wait a second. Al Jaffee, Bob Clark, Jack Davis. But wait, this is signed only by one of them. I gotta check. I gotta check this real quick. Dude. Okay. This is pretty cool. All of these, I just like named all the artists that I'm noticing on the front. If we go to madcoversite.com, I'm sorry, I keep saying the wrong name, crackedcoversite.com. Check this out. Written by Frank Jacobs, Jack Rickard, art, page 1. These are all Jack Rickard. And like I can tell that that's not really Dave Berg, right? Because he doesn't draw like that. I fell for that. I fell for that. Fell for Jack Davis. Fell for that. Fell for Al Jaffee. He just imitated all of like the best mad artists at the time. It's nuts. That's like seriously nuts. Holy cow. That's something else, man. Like what a talent. So anyway, this is that what I mentioned before. This is this kind of self-aware mad. You know, like mad. I don't know. I think a lot of times they're sort of like feigning self-awareness. You know, they're like, oh, we stink. You know, it's a bad magazine. Everybody, all of these guys are idiots. You know, I don't know. It's like feigned humility, right? This, it kind of shows a self-awareness that, I don't know, wait a second. When did this come out in relation to the National Lampoon write-up of Mad? Okay, I don't know why I thought of this, but National Lampoon did a spoof of Mad Magazine in 1971. So maybe like a couple years past, they're like, all right, maybe we do have to, what do they say in England? Take the piss out of ourselves, like mock ourselves in a little bit more of a sincere way, like this. Now this is uncredited work. This is actually Bob Clark doing this. Primers. See this blurb? See us trying to unload 17 mad primers that didn't make it. See yourself sending us $7.95 for the Mad Crop Rotation Primer, or the Mad Primer on diabetes and other diseases of the digestive system, or the Mad Frisbee Primer. See us banking the money fast before you discover you got what you got, wretch, and demand your payment back. Why can't I read? So, making fun of mad primers. fold-ins. Ever seen Al Jaffee goofs as evidenced by these fold-ins that didn't make it? We've got 26 gathering dust, one of which depicts a picnic scene, which unaccountably folds into a frog. Another of an air view of Nutley, New Jersey, which unexplainably folds into a profile of Al Jaffee's brother, and others just as mind-boggling. Here we have bicentennial ideas. During the past 18 months or so, our writers submitted 53 unsalvageable scripts for bicentennial satires, each one worse than the next. Among them, Benjamin Franklin had been a mafia don. Behind the scenes of Nathan Hale's hanging, Patrick Henry announced Monday Night Football. Others equally horrendous. Yours at $15.75 each. All sales final, irrevocable and unexchangeable. And then down here, this is the one I told you to take a peek at. Xmas song parodies. Why did we order this article? Heaven knows, but we are relieved to unload it at $2.95 a ditty. Available are We Three Clods from Omaha are, to the tune of We Three Kings from Orient are. It hangs down from our chandelier, something it came upon a midnight clear. O come all ye woeful, and 7 more equally idiotic and unsingable. All 10, only $15.50. Offer withdrawn. Of course, it was printed just a few pages earlier. Nixed front covers. We've got close to a dozen piled up in our stockroom, and if you saw them, you'd understand. We'll never know why we commissioned a picture of Alfred E. Neuman as a Bulgarian naval officer, or conducting the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, or performing open heart surgery, but we did, and with each disastrous result. Only $12.95 each, as is, and absolutely non-returnable. This is like one of the funnest mad articles that I've seen in a very long time. I love this. I'm smitten over this one. Who wrote this? Writer Frank Jacobs. I mean, who else would you expect such a brilliant idea to come from? They have marginals. They're making fun of marginals. Now, I did want to talk about this because this is a time, 1976, our country's bicentennial, in which a mad look at wasn't just something that Sergio Aragones owned. And I know I talk about this all the time, every time it comes up, but remember, each episode of Flippin' Through is somebody's first episode. So I can never repeat myself too much. Here we have a mad look at the basic format that we're familiar with. Different, but essentially the same. No words, couple panels. A lot of these are single panel actually, so maybe take that back. But just making fun of a topic using pantomime. It's amazing. And this is Paul Peter Porges writing and drawing, obviously. And it looks absolutely fantastic. And now only one, Spy versus Spy. This is pretty cramped up. He had a long story to tell in this. And such a convoluted means of killing your enemy. Here we have the double feature. Really, it's a triple feature, this issue. 2 TV shows and a movie, or is it 2 movies and a TV show? Fantastic work by Angelo Torres and Jack Davis. I should have spent more time on this. I'm sorry, guys. But we're basically out of time. All we have time for now is the mad fold-in and back cover. What particular species in our environment is sure to get special protection from any winning candidate? It's going to be like a dog or something? Oh, fat cats. Fat cats indeed. Oh, here we have the pay-as-you-go, the practice of modern medicine. And here we have this. You'll notice wrapped in plain brown paper. Yes, Mad Magazine used to wrap in plain brown paper. Nothing fun on the cover like they eventually did. I think maybe in the 80s that started. Anyway, this has been Mad Magazine number 188. Remember, guys, hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment down below. That's the best way that you can support this channel. Thank you so much for watching. Toodaloo.